Hello. So, welcome to my channel. My name's Greg. Um, so this is my first real official full video. It's gonna be more or less an introduction to the series I'm doing here with Sims. So I am doing Total Drama Sims, which is gonna be a Sims playthrough, kind of more like Sims competition or challenge, I guess would be more what it falls under. But I'm gonna have 10 Sims, no, 12 Sims, and they are going to live on an island and like compete, and then they're going to be eliminated, and at the end there's going to be like one winner, and they're going to win 100,000 simoleons, move into a really nice house, and the rest are just going to be evicted. So it's based off of Total Drama Island, which is a TV show that used to run. I know they had multiple seasons, and it's a bunch of campers come to an island and they compete, and the winner gets like a large amount of money. So this challenge is going to be based off of that, and so I'm having 12 Sims, and I don't know why I held up the number 3. I'm going to have 12 Sims, and they're all going to compete until there's one winner. This took so much time, but I'm so excited. I put in a lot of detail to like making the island and to making the contestants, trying to make each of them super unique. I even had some people make some of them, and then like I just made a few changes and stuff to like fit the idea of what I wanted. But I'm super excited. It's great. And now let's just get into the rules and introducing you to the islanders and everything like that. Okay, welcome to Total Drama Sims. So this is the lot that I built. I'm by no means a builder, but I'm pretty proud of it. I tried going off of like screenshots from the show and building it as best as I could. I'm pretty proud of it, but I'm gonna give you like a quick tour of the island, because you're gonna see a lot of locations, stuff like that, but it's usually not gonna be like this zoomed out version. It's gonna be close up. All right, so first up on the island tour, we have the docks, and also the area up top, but we'll get there in a second. So the dock is where our contestants are going to come in. It's also where they're going to leave if you're voted out. So really the only time you want to be on this dock is when you come in, because if you get here again, you're out of the game, you're not getting any money. So this is like the kind of like the first spot where the contestants are going to start. Up here, this is the where the campfire ceremony is going to be at. I believe that's what it's called. So this is where contestants will come and where they're going to be voted out, basically. So they come here, they sit here, they vote each other out, and then if you see right over on the little pedestal, there's little white things. That's the marshmallows. Not actually, but like I went in and like downsized a bunch of stuff and made like a little tray with some marshmallows, because if you survive, you get to have a marshmallow. Okay, the next area is the cabins that the Sims will actually be sleeping in. Hey, so editing Greg here. For whatever reason, I decided not to show the interior of any of these builds. I'm not sure why I took that creative approach, but I'll be sure to actually give you a tour of the interior of all these buildings that I'm describing in this part in the next episode. So, yeah, carry on. There are 2 separate cabins. They're more or less identical. The only differences is basically who's going to be sleeping in it and which team's banner it is. So there's 2 teams. The 2 teams are the Formidable Fish and the Raging Rainbows. And you'll see that with the banners, like a fish banner and a rainbow banner. So you have the 2 cabins, and with only 2 rooms. One room has the boys, one room has the girls, and same in both cabins. And so you'll see who will be sleeping where when you find out their teams. Then I guess the next part of the island tour is going to be back here. So back here, we see the bathroom. And this has, both teams share the same bathroom. It has the showers, it has the toilets, sinks, mirrors, all that stuff. So basically all their bathroom things are in this room. Except in Total Drama, they do like confessions and stuff in kind of like a portal potty. So I've also built that, and all it has in it is a camera and a toilet. The next thing is the kitchen. So this is like the mess hall. This is where they'll go to eat and stuff like that. There's the kitchen, there's a sitting area. They both eat in the same place, and I have both of their flag banners on the wall and kind of like separating them, but of course they're going to sit wherever they want when they want to eat. But it looks nice. And then the last place is, this isn't necessarily somewhere you see a lot in the show, but it's like in the intro of the TV show at the end, it has all of them sitting around a campfire with a light up sign. And so I kind of built my own version of that. And I don't know, I just thought it was like a cool thing to add to it. So I also have that. And then I guess the last thing would be, they have a lake, but in the past when I've done these Big Brother things, whenever I have a pool, all they do is swim all day long, and it gets so boring to watch. So I just made it out of a fountain. I didn't want to give them the option to swim because they will just do it over and over and never stop. But I don't want them swimming all day. And yeah, that's basically the camp. I think I'm gonna put it up on the gallery. I'll include like the information and stuff like that down in the description in case anybody wants to download it. But yeah, this is what I'm going to be using throughout this challenge. Let's go over like some of the rules I had in mind. So how it's going to work is, at the first day, we're going to call it day one because it's going to move in like segments, I think, of like a couple days. So day one, the two teams are going to compete against each other, and the winning team will be immune from the vote. And then after the day of the competition that I'm doing in this is, I want to give like an extra level of like drama or entertainment. So what I'm gonna have is a random wheel generator. I'm gonna do friendly and mean, and then I'm gonna put it on a wheel, and I'm gonna do it like multiple times, and I'm gonna spin the wheel, and I'm gonna do that for every single sim. And then that sim is going to have friendly or mean, and so I'll decide if they're going to have a friendly interaction or a mean interaction. And then I'm going to have the name of all the other contestants in a second wheel, spin it, and that'll decide who they do this friendly or mean interaction to. Just to kind of like give it another level. I mean, it adds in some randomness, and who knows what could happen, because you could have a best friend that you really like, and then the day before the vote, you go and be rude to them, and now they're voting to get rid of you. I think it makes it a lot more interesting, maybe kind of more realistic, maybe just a bit more random, but it's what I want to do with this, just to give it another level of drama. And I'll be doing this on the off day. And then day 3, which will be the day after they kind of just hang out, we're going to have a vote. And in the vote, I'll take all of their relationships into account, and whoever, like, let's say one person really dislikes this person, so they're going to vote for this person to go, and it's going to go like that for everyone's relationships. And I'm sure, like, in the past when I've done these type of things on my own, like, the votes can be all over the place and crazy, so hopefully it'll be entertaining. And then after the voting day, the next day there'll be another competition, so it's going to move in like 3-day segments, and I'm not sure how I'm going to break it up video wise, but we'll see. Now let's get to meeting our cast. Our first contestant to arrive is Esther. Esther's story is that she is a like makeup guru type on the Sims tube, and she makes makeup looks, and she has a good amount of fans and everything like that. But she's come in hopes to like grow her platform and also show more that she can do a lot more than just makeup. She also has personality, she also has a lot more to offer, and she also of course would love the money. Her traits are... Okay, so editing Greg here again. Somehow I managed to cut out the entire part where I actually list Esther's traits, so I'm going to do that now. Esther's traits are mediator, self-absorbed, and dance machine. I also made sure everyone in the competition had the same lifetime wish. That way they would have the additional trait of gregarious. That way they talk to each other a lot and everything like that. But then I also had an extra mod in the game when I was recording this video, and that mod was one that gives them a Myers-Briggs personality type, and it gives them a 4-letter personality type. It's a very common test. You can actually take it yourself if you wanted. And her personality type is the ENFP, which is called the champion. I also have another mod that I recently added to the game because they came out with Wonderful Whims, which is really great for an attraction system. So all the Sims will now have that, and it'll be randomly generated. But I honestly don't know what they are yet until I get back into the game. So I'll have to update you with that. Okay, so editing Greg again. The end of Esther's got cut off, and it looks like the beginning of Danny's also got cut off. So the only thing I'm missing here is just his name. So like, this is Danny. That's it. He's come to the show looking to just like branch out, try something new, and maybe like adapt and see if he's able to take on something that, while does definitely have a part that speaks to him as far as physically, but see if he can challenge himself socially and actually win the money. So Danny's traits are, let me close all these, there's so many now. Gym rat, unflirty, gregarious like everyone else, and a genius, so he's really smart. And then his Myers-Briggs type is the craftsman, ISTP. Bold and practical experimenters, masters of all kinds of tools. Popular hobbies of ISTP include magic and comedy, archery, weaponry, hunting, scuba diving, rappelling, which I don't even know what that is, aviation, skydiving, motorcycles, and other extreme sports. They are often drawn to risky or thrilling activities and those that allow them to work with something mechanical. So again, I think this actually works great with the personality type I was imagining for him. So again, he's a very like physical and he's smart, but he wants socially, he doesn't easily, this is gonna get annoying. Socially, he kind of struggles, but he's here to challenge himself and see if he can overcome it. Our next contestant is Zara. Zara is a very sweet, kind of nerdy girl. She runs her own thrift store. She's just kind of like girls next door with like a little bit of like a nerdy edge. I don't know. I love her. She's honestly one of my favorites, like look-wise and personality. She's super sweet. She's great. And she's come more or less to like possibly expand her store. She has her one store and it's pretty successful, but she thinks like if she gets money here, maybe she can set up multiple locations. So then grow from just a store into more of a brand. And also just to like challenge herself, and it sounded like a lot of fun. So this is Zara. Let's look at her personality. Her personality is insensitive. So this is her negative trait. So I gave her this one just like, she doesn't really always understand others. Okay, so because like she's cheerful and a geek. And I put insensitive as in a way like when she's happy and other people aren't happy, she doesn't really understand why people aren't happy. It's like, she's very much like, we're alive, we're breathing, it's a brand new day, how could you not be happy to be here type. It's not that she necessarily tries to be rude about it, it's just she can't really understand why someone can't find at least something to be happy about, because she's always such like a ray of sunshine. She's gregarious, and then her Myers-Briggs type is the doer, ESTP. Smart, energetic, and very perceptive people who truly enjoy living on edge. Popular hobbies for an ESTP include all sorts of sports and athletic pursuits, especially team sports and risky or adventurous activities like race car driving, boxing, or flying. So I think it still kind of correlates with her personality, not as well as I think Esther and Danny's did, but it's still good. But yeah, so that is Zara. Okay, our next contestant is Benji. Benji is a painter. He more or less stays to himself. He's a very creative type. He doesn't have much patience for like other people's emotions. Not that he's rude, it's just he'd rather just deal with like himself, I guess you could say. He'd rather be doing his own thing than have to like sit around and listen to someone else's problems. But that's because he likes taking his emotions and putting it into artwork, and he likes using his emotions in a very finding a good outlet for his emotions. So when having to listen to other people's problems, he can come off insensitive. So this is Aaron, and not Aaron, Benji. I don't even know where I got Aaron from. Benji. And Benji's here because he's looking for new inspiration. He feels like he's seen a lot in the world, but this could bring a new experience and bring new inspiration to his artwork. And also, of course, build a name for him. So that's Benji. Let's look at his traits. I'm going to have to start pausing it when I do this part because the daylight is passing by, and if I do this, then you're going to be introduced to some people at nighttime. First off, he's shameless, and I wanted to do shameless because he doesn't believe you should be ashamed of anything. Like, you just be yourself at all times. Like, I don't know. He's not ashamed of, like, who he is and his actions. Then he's also an insensitive, which, like I said, he doesn't want to hear about other people's problems necessarily. He thinks that they should just put it into some type of outlet, like find a way to use their negative emotions to put into something productive or just deal with it on their own, because he doesn't really care to hear about it because he's found a way to handle his. And then he's creative, of course, because he's an amazing painter. He thinks outside of the box. He's a very, I think he's a very interesting one. And then his Myers-Briggs type is the thinker, INTP. Innovative inventors with an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. Popular leisure activities for INTP include reading, art, and cultural events. Chess and other strategy games, writing, taking classes, working with computers, backpacking, hiking, and meditation. So that's Benji. I think his Myers-Briggs type goes great with his personality. I think he's definitely going to be like, if it works out, he could definitely be like one of the masterminds, or like really controlling like what's going on, as long as he does it well and his insensitive trait doesn't come back to hurt him. So that's Benji. So our next contestant is Fable. Fable is a makeup artist. So not in the same way that Esther is. Fable works on other people, but she isn't like the face of her work. She does the looks for people, and then they go to photo shoots. So she's like a makeup artist for like photo shoots or fashion shows and stuff like that. But she doesn't really, she's always behind the curtain, I guess you could say. She is very much someone who's like kind of sticks to herself. She does her own thing, and she's very happy to do that. She's happy living her own life. But she's come onto the show in order to make enough money to possibly launch her own makeup brand. She wants to kind of, again, not to make herself in front of the camera, well, in front of the curtain, but she wants like, she's worked with makeup and there's like products and things that she wants. She kind of wants to launch her own brand and like put her creativity out there. So now let's look at her traits. Her traits are Tormentor. So I wanted this one because I wanted her to just kind of be like someone who's willing to play dirty if need be. Not that she necessarily is a mean sim, but just very much like she'll do what she has to do to reach her end goal. And then self-assured, so she's very, again, self-assured. She's confident, she knows who she is, she's happy with who she is. And then she's a big fan of art, and I think that's shown like with her skill, and also there's some other artistic sims, so she might be able to get along with them really well. And gregarious, of course. And then her 4-letter type is the Inspector, ISTJ. Practical and fact-minded individuals whose reliability cannot be doubted. Sorry, girl, I know it's hot. Hobbies include concentration games like chess, Trivial Pursuit, playing computer games, watching sporting events, pursuing physical fitness, and playing solitary sports such as golf. So I'm not sure about all the sports stuff, but I think overall, just like, I think that kind of fits with her personality. But yeah, that's Fable. She was one of my favorites to make. I had fun messing around with her aesthetic and stuff like that. So that's Fable. She's one I'm definitely rooting for. Okay, so I'm now just going to start introducing them pause because so much time has passed. And again, I want the competition to actually be in daylight. I don't know if I'll still be able to do it, but we're going to try. So this is Lacey. Lacey was a childhood star. She was the lovable little girl from the Growing Up Crumple Bottom series. And she was adored by many, but then she got kind of tired of living in the spotlight. And she wanted to be like everyone else. She wanted to have friends, go to school, stuff like that. And she didn't want the celebrity life. So she quit. She did the regular thing, but then she got completely bored. And she misses the adoration she used to receive as a child, because now no one even knows who she is. So she's coming back onto the show to hopefully thrust herself back into the limelight, maybe start her acting career again. Who knows? But she's just ready for a change. She's tired of the regular day, so she's hoping this will get her into something more exciting. Let's get into her traits. She is self-assured. From growing up as like such a beloved person, she's very much she's confident in herself, and she's confident in what she can do. She's hot-headed. She has a bit of a temper. She can easily go off, but hopefully she can keep it in check. We'll see. Gregarious, of course. And then outgoing. She really likes to talk. She really likes to meet new people and things like that. And then her four-letter personality type is INTJ. She's imaginative and strategic thinkers. with a plan for everything. Popular hobbies for INTJ include reading, cultural events, taking classes, appreciating art, computers and video games, and independent sports such as swimming, backpacking, or running marathons. It doesn't exactly match up with like the full idea I had for her, but again, that's a cool new part of her personality. So that's Lacey. Our next contestant is Ace. Ace, even though he looks upset now, he's usually a very like happy guy. He likes to go wherever the fun is. He follows the music, he follows the parties, wherever the fun is at, that's where he wants to be. So when he found out about this show, it was a no-brainer. He had to go. So I just realized the roofs are down in the back. Please ignore that. I'll have to fix that in a second. But he just wanted to go wherever the fun is, and this sounded like a lot of fun. So Ace said he had to be here. So Ace's traits are compassionate, so he likes to just be there for people when he can be. Romantic, he has a bit of a romantic side. Gregarious, uncontrolled emotions, so this is his negative trait. And I thought this was good. He's like, he really cares for other people, and he easily falls in love and stuff like that. Kind of like a hopeless romantic, more than just romantic in general is what I had in mind. But his negative emotions can become like more than he can control sometimes. And his personality type is the ENTJ, the commander. Bold, imaginative, and strong-willed leaders, always finding a way or making one. Popular hobbies for ENTJs include taking leadership positions in the community groups, attending social gatherings or sporting events, and playing competitive sports. Because ENTJs are so focused on their careers, they may have few interests outside of work, or they may participate in leisure activities that also help further their careers. So I think that's pretty good for, let me go ahead and put the roofs back. I think that works really well for Ace. This is Jagger. So Jagger is a musician, and he is also kind of like someone who hasn't really figured out life all the way yet. He kind of stays over at friends' places. He doesn't really get a job. He just goes to the streets to play, and then mooches off of like his friends for like where he's gonna stay, what he's gonna eat, and stuff like that. So he's coming here to hopefully find his own way into stability, find his kind of like a following. He wants to build up a fan base and then maybe launch his music career so he can stop relying on the kindness of others just to get by. So that's Jagger. Let's see his personality. His personality is a recycled disciple, argumentative. He's very like strong opinionated, and if someone goes against his opinions, he's quick to argue. Gregarious, creative, and he is INTJ. Okay, so our next sim is Eli. Eli is just a super sweet, super nice guy, but he kind of doesn't live for himself, and by that I mean he has a sister who is a famous model, very successful, and he actually helps her, but she's made a name for herself, and she doesn't really need his help anymore like when she did when she first started out. And she still cares for him deeply, but she wants him to kind of find his own way. So she showed him this and is kind of like sent him out with, of course, his permission. But he's come and trying to kind of like figure out his own self, figure out his own way and what exactly he wants to do, and start doing things for himself instead of continuously doing things for others. So he's here to kind of like expand and learn more about himself. His personality type is cheerful and carefree. So yeah, like I said, really happy, sweet guy, but irresponsible because he doesn't always do what he should do due to the fact that he's always trying to help other people and do what other people want him to do. And that's definitely lands him in trouble sometimes. And he's gregarious. And then his Myers-Briggs is the thinker INTP. Our next contestant is Cass. Cass is a very interesting sim. She is super nice, but she also has a very unpredictable, crazy side. She's lived a life, she loves the outdoors, absolutely loves it, but her finances don't really allow her to live that type of life, and she works as a bartender. So she joined this show just for the fact that she heard camp and signed up immediately. she's the type of person who, as soon as they think it, they do it. She just goes straight for it. So Cass is here. I think she's going to bring a very interesting element because I think she has a very cool personality type that I think could definitely kind of like switch up the game very quickly. So let's see her personality. So she is compassionate, outgoing, and then her negative trait is erratic. So she's a bit crazy, kind of, but like in the best way possible, of course. And then her personality type, which actually is perfect for her personality, is the doer ESTP. Smart, energetic, and very perceptive people who truly enjoy living on the edge. I just realized I think we have somebody else. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have somebody else who's that personality type, but I think that works amazing for her. She's one I hope brings a lot of entertainment value to this challenge. So our next sim, and I believe our last guy, is Van. Van is the type of sim who all he wants to do is party. Like, party all day, party all night, have a great time, and then just get ready for the next party. That's all he cares about. Even in college, all he did was party and almost flunked out of school. So he's here just for the fun aspect. He just wants to have fun, have a good time, and enjoy himself. I don't know how long I think he'll last due to his personality type if he's just here for fun. I think other people could quickly outmaneuver him and get him out, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Let's see his personality type. So his personality type is a bro, a dance machine, gregarious of course, and then a mastermind. So actually that's something I left out of his personality when I first introduced him. He's smart in a way that he knows how to manipulate other people. So he's all about partying, but he also likes to get what he wants. So actually, I think he'll be more interesting than I first said. And then his personality trait is the ISTG, the inspector, which I'm pretty sure we had somebody else. Yeah, I think it was Lacey who had the same type as that. Yeah, I think actually he could be pretty interesting. I forgot I gave him the mastermind trait. So I think he actually could be pretty interesting. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Our last contestant is Fallon. So Fallon is a beautiful and smart girl. She is actually a doctor. Of course, that's something she's probably not going to share with everyone here. But she is a doctor in her profession, and she's come here to kind of like challenge herself. Because one of the things about Fallon that's interesting, even though she's a doctor, she's very squeamish. Like, really gross things kind of freak her out. She tries to keep her calm as much as possible, but so it really gets to her a lot of times. So she's come here, and there's bugs, there's gross things everywhere to her. She's much more of like someone who'd prefer to be indoors versus camping. But she's come here to like challenge herself and like push her limits so that way she can get back to where she needs to be in her professional career. So she's actually come here just to like improve herself. The money she's not necessarily here for that, but I'm sure she wouldn't mind winning. But yeah, that's Fallon. Let's look at her personality traits. She is squeamish, as I said, cheerful, so super happy, and a genius. And then her personality type, she actually has a different one from everyone else. Well, a lot of people have different ones, but one we haven't seen yet. And that's the performer, the ESFP. Spontaneous, energetic, and enthusiastic people. Life's never boring around them. Popular hobbies for ESFP include socializing, team sports, home improvement projects, cooking, entertainment games, and dance. ESFPs love big parties and gatherings and are quick to join any group that actively sounds like fun. So this is more the type that I imagined for Ace. But again, I don't have control over this part. I let it kind of choose it on its own, and it kind of gives a level of like random to it and like a part that like I feel like I didn't have a hand in, so I like it. So it's not something I'd imagine for her, but it's really interesting, and I think it makes her a more well-rounded sim. Now it's time to see how the teams are gonna work. Okay, actually I'm gonna end the video right here. This video is already long enough and it's just supposed to be an introduction video anyways. I know the video was a little rough, but it will get better, I promise. In the next part, we're going to go over the teams, the first competition, and I'll finish up the tour island that I half did this episode. So there's plenty to look forward to. Anyways, your likes, comments, and support is greatly appreciated, and I hope your tomorrow is even better than today. Now I'm going to go do something unproductive. See ya.